So today we have two special guests, Krishna Edathil, Director of Enterprise Solution Services, Cloud and AI at the State of Texas, and Shauna Rodgers, Chief Digital and Data Officer at the Texas Attorney General's Office. Krishna, welcome back to TechTables.
Thank you.
Shauna, welcome to TechTables.
Thank you for having me.
This is a long time coming. I'm excited to have Shauna on. I met her at Galveston, and little side connection. She's got a connection to Santa Barbara, so I just immediately.
Yeah, and we both like basketball.
And we both like basketball. Yeah, loved it. Today's podcast is titled The Digital Deep Dive. Shauna, I'm going to start with you. Before we jump into the cloud transformations with automation and data intelligence into AI, you had posted a quote by Andrew Carnegie on working towards a common vision and achieving uncommon results. Carnegie said, teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments towards organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to achieve uncommon results. First, what's the micro vision for your team at the Attorney General's office, and how do you keep that focused on the North Star?
Yeah, so first I would like to say, we really are focused at the Texas Attorney General's office on serving the public, right? And so one of our areas of service is child support. And so whenever we are trying to help the business solve problems or get ahead of things like, the influx of calls or chats that we had with COVID, it really is about serving the business and being a really good business partner. Now, in saying that, we've also done a lot of mentorship and grooming and new hiring of current state staff and bringing in new consultants as well. And so it really is about teamwork, right? Bringing in the smartest people that we can, upskilling our current employees, and then being very, very focused on small iterative wins, right, that serve business value and really provide service back to the state of Texas and the constituents.
Is there a small win or maybe a favorite win that you have top of mind?
Yeah, first I would like to say we build cool things. So, and one of the wins that I'd like to talk about was one of the wins that we had with COVID. So, we had an influx. On average, we have 500,000 calls a month coming into our child support hotline for assistance. And with COVID, you can imagine there was just such a large influx of calls and emails and chats. And so as a technology organization, we were really able to step up and help relieve some of that pain using robotics process automation with our business partners to help get ahead of some of the problems that we had. So we're really proud of that win.
Awesome. I love that. And is there a business partner sitting next to you right now?
Yes.
So for those who are interested in RPA, I know, I kind of teed it up, but if you are interested in RPA and the cloud and AI COEs with Krishna, we actually covered it twice on 2 episodes on TechTables. I forget the episodes, but you can just use the search function on the website and type in Krishna and his face will pop up. But Krishna, I'm actually kind of curious, just a little bit, but what's new since 2021 for the state of Texas cloud and AI COEs that you would like to share?
Thank you, Joe. So when we first talked about the COE, we were in the early stages. You do the crawl, walk, run, and fly, and now we can say confidently that we are moving from the crawl space to the walk area. We still have a long miles to go, but we are collaborating a lot. We are learning from each other. We are doing a lot of training. And if you remember last year, 2021, just after the episode was done, we won the state national innovation of the award last year itself within 6 months of the COE being established. I think that was a big win. And we have today, as of today, we have about 35 proof of concepts, 5 in production. So what we're trying to do is help all the agencies out frontier who are in turn helping the citizens so that we can make the services, just like how Shauna said, we can make the lives of people easy and we can get the service to them faster and cheaper and we can save a lot of lives.
What's your favorite POC that you can publicly talk about?
One of the joint POC means where we have to come in and help. Shauna already talked about it. But the other interesting thing what I can talk about, and in addition, is that when you get the queries from people in an email format, in about 2,000 or you take a number, majority of them are password resets and things of that kind. And we kind of told 2 POCs. In 2 POCs, we introduced natural language processing, and what it will do is that it will separate the critical items bubble up top, and Shauna did that very well in their real life scenario. And then we proved that in NLP at the parks and wildlife as well, so that we can quickly address the top issues and not worry about how to get to your office, what is the direction to the office, etc., etc. And the machine will do it, and you don't have to have the team, the people who are taking the phones or being to the list, go through one by one and spend all day and understand, look, the critical one that impact a child support case is at the very bottom. So I think I'm very happy about that kind of an outcome in the state.
Awesome. Shauna, jumping into the data and digital side, how are you leveraging automation and data intelligence to drive better experiences for the citizens of Texas who consume those services?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Right now, we're doing some digital discovery in the space. So we have, built this wonderful reference architecture in 2020. In 2021, we started moving a lot of our services to the cloud, and we focused on a customer identity solution so that we can actually track and personalize digital engagement for our citizens. And then this year now we're starting to build out all of the data elements that we need to really move into machine learning, artificial intelligence, and making sure that everything that we do enables the citizens of Texas ease of use to the services that we provide.
That's great. You had asked me, so I threw a live podcast event 3 weeks ago in Phoenix, and one of my guests I said, Joe, no worries. His name's Aaron Judy. No worries. I'm going to be there. It's going to be great. And he's the chief of what was it, AI? Yeah. Chief Innovation Officer, at Maricopa County Superior Court. And he's like, I'm so excited. We met. We wrote the questions. He's so hyped. And then I get a call at midnight. Joe, my wife's having a baby right now. That's crazy. I didn't know. That's great. Congratulations. And so but there was a question that I had asked you that I was going to ask Aaron. Well, since Aaron's out of office for the next couple of months, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to reuse that question on you. So my question is, how are you measuring the effectiveness of those services that the citizens are consuming?
Yeah, no, absolutely, through data and analytics. So sending out customer surveys, having live feedback, analytics around how people are interacting with our platforms and the success rate. We also look at case measurement or business outcomes as well, right? Because, we are a government agency that has to actually provide services, but we also have an enforcement branch. So making sure that people pay their child support on time, for instance, is really important to us. And people may or may not give us a great rating.
That's a no-win situation.
But we would say that would still be a win because we're able to make sure that, every child in the state of Texas that has a child support case to support them has the financial and emotional support of both parents. That's the mission.
That's great. Krishna, what have you learned from Shauna and the Attorney General's office that you've applied with some of your other work at DIR?
That's an excellent question. So when I went to OAG, mainly the Child Support Division, and you should understand they give out or disburse about $4.5 billion a year to children, right? And it was very close to me because, my grandmother was a single mother raising my mom, and later on all of us. And we clearly was able to relate to the people who are doing this. And then when we walk into the office, like previously the deputy CEO had said, look, I was able to build that trust with people in government. This was my first appointment or order at a state agency. I was coming from Freddie and Fannie Mae trying to do a joint venture. But when I come to the child support office, people threw me a red carpet at that time. It was very I felt so good, and I was able to build that relationship. And I was there only for about 3 weeks, but it ended up 5 years. And I learned everything from people, building the trust, how to work with government. And in that journey, we built about 570 servers, all at DIR and DCS partner in that particular journey, and built about 14 environments. But more than that, what we were doing is we were not building servers. We were actually helping the child support system so that people can benefit from that. So putting people first and technology second. And that's what we do together all the time because we tell the agencies and colleagues and everyone. I still remember Mandy and Rick, they all gave us a mandate to go and work with Shauna. And I was at HHSE office for a year camping there. So if you ask me at the parking lot or in the evening, we'll be hanging out and doing different departments.
That's how I found him, by the way, was in a parking lot.
So I think to cut the story short, it is that relationship and how to change. For me, it's not a server down. Rick was talking earlier as well. When a server is down, someone who has to get a child support is, kind of delayed, and or someone at the DFPS. If somebody has a big threat at home, and if they are calling DFPS, and if the server is down, it is not a server down. So change that completely, and that kind of helped us go and embrace technology and have a great collaboration, right? So I think that is a big win that we had, where we can work together, collaborate, and I think that's a great thing for us to do.
Yeah, no, I really like that. Shauna, what have you learned from Krishna that you're applying at AOG right now?
Now, don't blush too much. So I'm going to say, I was very new to technology in the government space. I did over 19 years on Wall Street, building really concurrent technologies very, very quickly that brought stock ticker prices up, right?
Very powerful.
Yes. And so going from that public sector space into or private sector space into the public sector space, not understanding what the differences were in between really working for a CEO, again, that was very focused on financial outcomes, right? And into the government space where things just work differently. And Krishna was just a great person. He was a great mentor and a great friend to work with. So if anything, I would say Krishna probably could do a side hustle, writing a book on, how to build a career in the public sector. And that would probably be helpful for new people coming in.
Yeah. Camping out Monday through Friday.
And I'll definitely take up on that, because, you need a lot of stories like this to inspire. And, just to shine back on Shauna, you have to see that when we are playing the game from DAR side, we need someone to play pretty quick and fast, and I would say a very competitive game, and we understood that we had that chemistry. And I think such team play is very, very important for state to move to the next level.
Yeah, that's great. Interesting fact, I actually grew up on child support payments. So every time my mom would say, "Oh, the child support's not here," I'm like, now I'm reflecting back, I'm like, oh, well, there wasn't cloud back then, but I'm sure there was some on-prem device that was not not functioning the way it should have been. So I want to open this up to the audience right now. So do we have any audience questions? Again, if they are too specific, like, hey, Shauna, do you have an RFP? Again, no, they would not be asking that, and that will get cut out. So any questions for Shauna or Krishna?
My question is around, can you discuss sort of what the bleeding edge is in your respective domains right now with AI?
So right now we are doing some really cool things with using technology to build real-time digital analytics on our digital engagement channels, right? It's kind of a new concept is what I'm finding, that people actually have the data to make decisions on product fluency and the roadmaps based off of interactions with technology from the citizens. So we're very focused on that. We're about 5 sprints into building really cool analytics that are real time. And so the next iteration of that is for us to actually take a response or an action with the citizen to be able to drive down call center volume or be able to drive down chat center volume that's human manned.
So while Shauna and the team are much more focused on the current items, right, things that they are taking into production, Mandy and John, they have assigned us or our team to look at the future. So we are looking at 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line, and those are some of the POCs. That's why it takes a longer time for our POCs to become or get into production. So that's a slow journey. So the one we are focusing heavily on, if you all know the Senate Bill 475, it said not to capture the biometric information. So we are working with 2 companies. I don't want to call the name out now, but we are working on digital assistants who will look like you, like a physical. It's already in production in at the DFW airport, etc. So what it'll do is that it will respond to you with empathy. So we are bringing the chat bots, the chat solutions. We're bringing the back-end automation and also giving it a facial expression so that, for example, it'll be a great case study for, for example, Rick down the line 4 or 5 years, because this can be a kiosk in a hospital, and you can go and ask which way to go, and then that digital assistant will respond to you with all the question, and it can even recognize. I would have played a demo right now, but it'll even, if you ask me who is Krishna, it'll come and tell you exactly who I am, and then if you change it, it can quickly capture And the best part is that it captures about 35 points on a face, like a facial expression, and it is going to react the same way. When you're angry, it will calm you down. And when you're lost somewhere, it will find you the right direction to go as well. So that's what, we are excited, and, we have great, blessing from our leaders here. And, we hope to keep Texas ahead of, other states and collaborate as well.
No pun intended, sorry.
Yeah. Again, collaborate and learn.
Good job. We want to be number one, sorry.
Yeah.
Kevin's really here just to know what POCs you guys are working on. He's gonna run back. Yeah. Great. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go for it, Mark.
You mentioned Senate Bill 475, and I think a lot of agencies are coming up with strategies for addressing that. And I want to specifically hear what y'all are doing in relation to the data governance piece of that legislation.
Do you want me to take that one?
Yeah.
Okay. We are standing up a data governance program now. It's a great time for us to move into data governance for data standardization, classification, tagging, categorization. Actually, we have a CMDB now, which is awesome. We have an automated CMDB, so we're in a great space to actually hold information related to our product owner and our data owner and what type of information is actually being held in the system. So for us, this is a great thing. Hopefully, we will be right in there where we need to become next year. And I'm excited about the fact that we're going to be able to really do some neat things on the security side with automation and technology because of SB 475.
Yeah, just want to add one point on what Shauna said. It's going to create a kind of a foundation, if you will, so that we can start data sharing. For example, I was hearing a story. Is it sad, or you can call it whichever way, that if someone is going to TDLR, Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, and if that person was arrested a few hours ago and let go on a bail, there is no way that this agency can quickly find this person. We should not give him that particular license. So once we get into this shared data sharing kind of a concept, and the 475 is laying a strong foundation. So from 5-10 years from now, it will take time. It's government. We all know that. But, we'll have that quick and easy, managing, how will I put it, the people side of things, so that, you don't have to, enter your ID or things 5 times. It'll all be pretty quick and easy.
Great. Any other questions?
So how has the pandemic impacted your overall technology and particularly AI strategy? Are there any lessons that you're taking forward from that?
I came in to my role in the agency on April the 1st of 2020. And so it was a wonderful time to come in and to try to modernize. What I would say is I feel very lucky to come into the organization at the time that I did, because everybody was so open to change and adoption of new technologies, because we had problems everywhere, right? Everybody was doing the best that they could just to keep up with their daily work effort, on top of the fact that they were, they might have been sick, their family members were sick, it was a new world, they're trying to take care of their homes and their children and their families at the same time. So I would say I'm very lucky to come in whenever I did, even though it was really hard, right? And we came out of the gate. I mean, eight weeks into my job, we were implementing robotics process automation to support the business. So I'm not a 5 or 10 year person. And we're a little bit shorter term as far as being able to innovate and release product. But Krishna is just great to be able to work with in that space also, as far as innovation and what other people are doing. And he's always a great sounding board. So
thank you. The only point I would add is that if there was no pandemic for some reason or the other, it would have taken at least about 10 years or so to just, we were talking about cloud, just like that AI, it'll take, they'll ask if it is a blood group or things like that. So it'll take a long time for us to implement that. But this gave us a tailwind, if you will. And it was like, 1,000, 100 miles per hour, whatever you quantify. And we were able to take that and channel that into the right direction And everyone, after the first or second week, when people went from office to home, we were able to stand up about 160,000 teams across the state. So I'm just talking not just about the AI, but how that technology. So same thing we were able to adopt in different agencies and save a lot of quick wins. For example, when the COVID happened, we got a lot of data from different entities, and we had to deduplicate them. Means if I had 5 names, so 5 entries. So if I had positive, so how do you make sure that it's one? And we implemented one of the RPA technology solution, and thankfully we had a procurement and everything in place. So we were able to quickly introduce that and get that value to the customers within few weeks. So we were able, otherwise we would have taken a long time to sell to the business, sell to the leaders, and then get the talent, right? Very, very critical. And we were able to partner, and it was at the right time. We had the Tiger team, means it's a collaboration of all the team I talked about in the last podcast. That's why I didn't mention that here. But that team really made 200 people really made that that big difference, and we would not have done that without all this technology momentum happening.
Anyone else? Here, I know you're itching.
So the whole, given what you guys do, get to build cool systems. I heard the pilot coming out potentially at the airport with facial recognition and using human behavior behind AI. Like, walk me through, or help me understand, how do you recruit people to be on these teams, or what non-traditional backgrounds are you looking for? Because not everyone's in IT. There's probably a lot of creatives that are like, I know how to do this thing. What's the makeup of your team, and what type of people are you trying to recruit?
So other than standing on the street corner with a sign that says, "We need to hire developers, please come work for us," right?
Great marketing strategy.
Yeah, I would do it, but nobody would help me in that space either. I would say we have brought in some people who are wanting to support the cause of public service, that have been doing, building really cool technology for a long time. And then we are hiring people right out of college to pair them with. And as far as recruitment, going back to what Ricardo Blanco said earlier, we are really big on, hiring veterans. We're a veteran first, if we possibly can, agency. But it's been difficult. My CIO, Tina McLeod's been really great in supporting us, and she's on, chat forums and leaderboards. I cyberstalk people on LinkedIn and ask them to apply for jobs. So it's been difficult in this market in Austin, but we have been able to fill some data scientist positions as of, this week. So I'm proud about that.
That I'll add only one thing. Just like we have been collaborating a lot. For example, I'm sitting next to a champion who wanted to start code sharing between the state agencies. If Shauna has a code built, why not we use it? Why not some other agency do it? Why we spend the same tax dollars again and again? So that's a big win for us, because saying that, look, we collaborate and we show that. I'm glad that you put us together today. And then the second one is the interns. So the moment I go and sell it to our leadership saying that, hey, it's mine, they'll shoot it down. It is tendency. Okay, let's not have, I'm not talking about the internal, the small p, but, people don't like certain things. But what we did here was that we had 3 interns. Mandy was, there when we had their final, presentation and everything. They came and they are the face of the technology. They are going and pitching it to the leadership, saying that, look, which is better? Is it Google better, Azure better, or which technology is better? And they make the pitch. It's not, what I'm saying is that we'll put the young team up front, and one great cloud company, number one maybe, and 2 of the people asked me, how can we come and work for the state? And we will come and work for the state because you have the cool technology and we don't care for the money. So imagine those kind of conversations that is happening in the area. And I know that, Corey and all are working on having more of the internship programs. And I think that is going to take off in a big way. And that's going to, change the world. How the young mind would come and talk through and push the technology forward.
That's great. Well, Krishna, thank you for coming back on TechTables, and Shauna, thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.